Have you ever wished you could just, I don't know, download a new skill directly into your brain? Well, in a world that moves so fast, the pressure to learn new things is always there, right? For a job, a project, or just for fun. But what if you could dramatically, and I mean dramatically, cut down that learning time? Let's figure out how to make that a reality. So that number you're looking at, that is not a typo. Seriously, this is the promise, a system that can slash your learning time by a massive 60 to 70%. And look, this isn't about finding sketchy shortcuts that skip the important stuff. This is about working with a smarter, way more efficient process. So, the big question is, how do we actually do it? Well, it's a two-part approach. First, we need a solid foundation, a really reliable framework for learning pretty much anything. And then we're going to pour some serious rocket fuel on it by adding AI into the mix. Okay, let's start with that foundation. Before we even think about opening an AI tool, we have to understand how to learn effectively in the first place. This is the 5-step jigsaw method. If you can get this right, the AI tools we'll talk about later become, well, exponentially more powerful. You know, the core idea that makes this whole system click is actually super simple, but it's really powerful. I want you to think of learning not as like reading a textbook from cover to cover, but as completing a jigsaw puzzle. That little mental shift is going to guide everything we do from here on out. And here they are, the 5 key stages of building our puzzle. We're going to start with a goal, then move into research, then priming, comprehension, and finally, implementation. Let's break down exactly what each one of these really means. First up, the goal. Think about it. Without a clear picture on the puzzle box, you're just sorting a bunch of random pieces, right? Vague goals like, oh, I want to learn AI, just lead to wasted effort. Instead, you need to define a tangible outcome. Are you going to build an app, write a report, pass a specific exam? That's your destination. Step 2 is research. This is all about finding your puzzle pieces. It's so rare that just one course or one book gives you everything you need. This step is about gathering the best articles, the best videos, and the best tutorials so you can see the complete picture. And trust me, we're going to show you how AI makes this part almost effortless in just a minute. Step 3 is priming, and this is a big one that most people just skip entirely. Before you even try to connect any pieces, what do you do with a puzzle? You sort them. You find all the edge pieces, you group the colors together. In learning terms, this means just skimming your materials first. Look at the chapter titles, read the summaries, maybe even try taking a quiz before you start reading. You're basically giving your brain a map of what's to come. And don't underestimate this step. Research actually shows that priming, which might only take you, say, 30 minutes, can improve your retention and learning speed by a solid 10 to 20%. It is such a small investment with a huge payoff. All right, now we get to comprehension. You wouldn't build a puzzle one random piece at a time, would you? Of course not. You build those small color-coded sections first. The same thing applies here. You want to get a broad overview of the entire topic first, then go back and deepen your understanding layer by layer. This is how you avoid getting stuck on tiny details before you even see the big picture. And the final step is implementation. This is that really satisfying moment when you connect all the big sections of your puzzle together. It's where you take all the knowledge you've built up and you apply it directly to that goal you set back in step 1. You're turning these abstract ideas into a real finished project. Okay, so we have our framework. It's solid, it's reliable, and believe me, it works. Now that we have this powerful 5-step engine, it's time to talk about the high-octane fuel that's going to make it absolutely fly: artificial intelligence. This chart right here perfectly illustrates where all our time goes. As you can see, understanding and implementation, they can eat up almost 90% of the entire process. That is the bottleneck. So if we want to make a massive dent in our learning time, that is exactly where we need to focus the power of AI. And that's exactly our strategy. You know, AI can't really set your goal for you, but it can be an absolute game changer for research, comprehension, and implementation. Let's see exactly how. Let's start with research. The old way: hours of Googling, scrolling through forums, you know the drill. The AI-powered way: you give a tool like Perplexity a specific prompt, something like, act as a learning expert. Search Reddit's r/learn Japanese for the top 5 most recommended beginner textbooks from the last year and summarize their pros and cons. Boom, you get a curated list in seconds. The difference is just night and day. Now, this is where AI becomes your own personal tutor. Stuck with a dense textbook? Use an AI to generate a podcast-style summary you can listen to on your commute. Lost in a 3-hour lecture video? Ask it to create a time-stamped outline of just the key concepts. You can even use something like ChatGPT's audio mode to basically debate a complex idea with it until you truly get it. And finally, implementation. Instead of staring at a scary blank page, you can have an AI generate an outline for your report. You can feed a whole data set to an AI like Claude and have it build an interactive dashboard for you. Or you can use a tool like Gamma to create an entire slide deck from your messy notes. It just completely closes that gap between knowing something and actually doing something with it. We've got the framework and we've got the supercharger. Now, I've got 2 final pro tips for you that kind of act as guiding principles. They're all about fine-tuning this whole engine for maximum efficiency. Now, this is a really simple but profound shift in thinking. Stop managing your time and start managing your energy. It's not about how many hours you have free in a day. It's about the quality of those hours. We've all done it, right? You try to study at 9 p.m. after a totally draining day, and you get absolutely nowhere. The simple truth is that 1 hour of focused learning when your brain is fresh is worth more than 3 hours when you're exhausted. So schedule your learning for your peak energy window, not just whenever you have free time.
Our second pro tip is a technique called interleaving. And I'll admit it might feel a little counterintuitive at first, but the research shows it works wonders for your memory.
So instead of dedicating entire days to a single subject, Monday is finance day, Tuesday is Spanish day, you should mix them up. Spend an hour on Spanish, then switch and spend an hour on finance, all in the same day. This actually forces your brain to work a little bit harder to recall the information, which strengthens your long-term memory, and honestly, it just keeps you more engaged. So when you put it all together, the Jigsaw framework, the AI supercharger, and these pro tips, what's the result? Well, on a learning project that would normally take you about 30 hours, this system can save you 20 of them. That's 20 hours of your life back to do, well, whatever you want. So there you have it, a complete blueprint for learning anything faster and more effectively than ever before. The only question left is the one you see right here. What amazing new skill are you going to go out and master first?